So basically this morning I want to talk about where we are, or where I think we are, in terms of Cumberland Council's climate policies and where we hope to be in the near future. At the moment, I would say what we've done is to establish that the climate change issue is one of the central policies of our council. We have health and wellbeing as the key point, but tied in with health and wellbeing undoubtedly is the climate change question. So we see it as fundamental to everything we do and as tied in with all our other policies. So far, we've developed, I think, important links with a number of organisations such as yourselves and with ZCCP and with various others. And I think that's important for us all going forward, that we work together as a massive group campaigning for these sorts of issues. So far in the council, I've established a climate and nature advisory group, which is a mixture of councillors and officers, and we are advising the executive and then the council as to where we should be going with our policies and how we should be implementing all sorts of initiatives in the climate change agenda. In addition to that, we've got a working group of officers that has looked at the work that was being done in the previous authorities, the 3 district councils and Cumbria County Council, and have amalgamated information about them into an overall statement of where we are and into a potential strategy. And we'll be working on that in future weeks and months. I think it's important as well that what we do is to involve everybody in the organisation in the climate change issue. So we're going to have all the councillors trained in carbon literacy by October, and we'll be then moving it out to officers. We've already done some of that, but that we will complete hopefully by the end of October, perhaps beginning of November. We want the climate issue to be raised at every area within the council. Whenever somebody talks about planning or asking a planning permission on anything, when anybody looks at licensing a property or a business, we want the issue of where does this fit into our care about nature and the climate issues, where does it fit in, and is it going to be positive, is it going to be problematic? And I think that's important. We all need to contribute to this and do our little bit. In terms of going forward, we have to go into all the plans that we've already seen from the previous authorities, make them into a concrete, sensible whole that will do justice to the climate issue throughout the whole of Cumberland. We want to make sure that all the management staffing issues are there to cope with climate questions, with nature questions, and be able to influence every connection they have outside and inside the organisation, particularly with, I think, the supply chain. We can do so much ourselves, but we need to influence others. Our financial resources are obviously limited, but we can influence our supply chain in following our ideas on climate change policy. We can influence the public by announcements we make and by our engagement with the organisations I've mentioned before. Influence, I think, is the key. Power we haven't got, money we haven't got in excess. What we have is our ability to say that we are working on climate change, we are working to protect nature, we will work with you to affect climate change agendas, we will work with you to make sure nature and biodiversity are protected in every way we can. All of us need to be influencing the general public. We will do it through the council. You can do it through your West Together organisation and similar groups. Let's work together and make sure that we have an impact on what is a real threat to our society and our way of life.